You wear my shirt.
Oh,
Yes,
no.
now. Yes, now. And I can't wear your pants. I can't wear your shirt.
What's your problem?
Sorry. Hi, guys.
I don't want to do this video again. I don't. You just made me.
Let's do our intro first. Let's do our intro first. Hi, guys. My name is Nino.
I don't have a name.
And this is Thriving at Love and Relationships.
What you just did now? Is it making our relationship thrive?
So, for the banter that you guys just heard, a little secret, not even a secret. She wears all my clothes.
I don't understand. Like, if I don't wear your clothes, who will wear your clothes?
First of all, she has more clothes than me.
No.
So, she wears mine and she wears hers. I can only wear mine.
Let me ask you, secretly in your heart of hearts, when I wear your clothes, don't you always be like, this babe looks good, child?
No.
Hey, so why are you lying
Actually,
now?
it's one of my favorite clothes, please. How will you like if I wear one of your pants one day and go to work?
You can do it. That's what she wants.
Exactly. I can't do it. So that's why it's annoying, because I can't do the same thing.
But nobody is holding you.
Please,
okay,
anyway.
from today, I vow not to know where your clothes.
And some of you have noticed that we're always wearing the same colors. I know some of you have noticed in the comments. Now, let me give you a story. When we first got married,
Babe, it's for coordination. It's imaging and branding.
Let me see my own part. When we first got married,
what is not what we're meant to be
I used to
talking
tell my
about
wife,
here now?
if we're going to a restaurant, I say, let's wear the same thing. She's like, what's wrong with you? Why are you so mushy? How do you like doing it? And because you used to make me feel like a soft guy. But I wanted to wear the same thing with my spouse. And so people can be like, oh, they're a cute couple and everything. So I gave up on
we're
it.
going out of
Started
course.
wearing my own color. When we started kissing this day, she said, babe, it would be nice for us to wear the same color.
That's not what I didn't even come to say. I just picked out our clothes for us.
Why did you pick the same color?
Because normally you would ask me, babe, what am I wearing? What am I wearing? What are we wearing? So I just picked the same, because I thought, like, for branding's sake, it just looked nice that, you know, we're both on the same wavelength.
Brand manager, not because she secretly likes it. She
No,
loves it. If I ever
I don't like it.
When I wore this outfit that makes us look like we are doing it at house for
Blue house.
she was happy about it. Anyways, side banter. So
now to the order of the day.
Today we are going to be talking about something very, we say, common, that we are seeing that is happening today.
And it's one of the things that you guys have asked us to actually talk about.
And it's something that we've always, I know that it's been on the hearts of people, and we've always wanted to share with people. Yeah. And so we'll be talking about differences. Now, cultural differences, as some of you might not know.
Wait, now you do not give the topic well.
Okay.
We're talking about culture shock.
Culture shock and family shock.
Yes.
Culture
upbringing shock.
And family shock. Now, what does that mean? As some of you might know, or some of you might not know, Oluchi is an Igbo queen. And I'm a Yoruba angel. So she's from the east and I'm from the west. Yes. We are both from different tribes.
Oh, we are.
We got married. So my name, as most of you are hearing, that my name is Nosa. My Yoruba name is actually Ife Oluwakpo.
Come on now.
Which means the love of God is plenty in this one. So, can you stop dancing like a chicken? So, we're going to be talking about how we navigated coming from two different cultures and how we first experienced it when we came into our relations, our marriage actually, and also our family. Okay. Yes. So, okay, what was the disclaimer?
That many people think that because we're from two different tribes, we had a lot of shock or a lot of differences. Yeah. Well, not really. Yeah. Funny enough.
Yeah, funny enough, we didn't have as many differences as people would think.
Would expect.
But I mean, a lot of people are going through a lot of different shock, like maybe Hausa, marrying Calabar.
Maybe it's also because, you know, somewhere inside of me, I kind of identify as a Yoruba girl.
Yes, I don't identify as an Igbo man, but I always knew I was not going to marry a Yoruba woman. And why I'm saying this is going to be common, because I'm seeing that, especially in our generation and generations to come, a lot of people are breaking out of this traditional cultural setting that
tribe marriage.
Yoruba must marry Yoruba, Igbo must marry Igbo. The fact that there are a lot of intertribal marriages, and a lot of people are entering into it, but I don't think they are preparing enough mentally and what was the other grammar?
It's mentally.
Yes, mentally about the shocks that you will meet inside. So we're going to be talking about that from the cultural point of view and also from family point of view.
Yeah.
She was raised a certain way, I was raised a certain way. How did we how did we meet these shocks
how
in our
that
marriage?
shocked us.
How it shocked us, and how did we navigate it, and how have we been able to make it work for us?
Yeah.
So, drum roll. So, the first. What now? What? I learned this drama from you. I learned this drama from you. Everybody knows I'm a conservative person, and people always say that I'm not the fun one. So I'm trying to show that I'm the fun one.
Wow.
Anyway,
did it again.
Okay, so number one culture shock from marrying someone from an Igbo culture. So I think the first time I was meeting Oluchi's mom, the first time I met her mom, because her dad is not in the country, so the first I was going to meet the family for the first time, it was her mom that was around, so it was just myself and her. And I went to their house in Lagos and I met her mom, and she brought out something around for me to eat.
And green.
And most people will know I'm a very conservative person, so I don't try new things, especially food. What I put in my stomach, I don't. And it was, lo and behold, it was garden egg. And I don't even know if it's a fruit, a plant. Up to now, I don't know what it is.
I think it's a vegetable.
I always hear people say garden egg is a vegetable, and I think it's a customary thing.
Yeah, in Igbo land, yeah. And so when he had gone to see her and he had come back, like, guy, why did you tell me I'm going to eat garden egg?
Yes.
Because I honestly thought that everybody that is a Nigerian knows garden egg.
Which is problem number one. Now,
apparently has never
seen
heard of
that
garden
thing
egg.
in my
and
life.
I asked his mom, and his mom was like, she buys garden egg, she eats garden egg. So I don't know where
I don't know what secret feast my mom has been feasting. And if you are watching, mom, when did you start eating garden egg? I've never seen you eat garden egg. So I mean, that was the culture shock. And because this is the mother of the beautiful lady I want to marry, how am I going to do it? So I carried it and I was like, I think she gave me like 4. I'm like, first of all, why would you even give me 4? So I took the first one and I beat it, and it was so tasteless. There was even no sauce for me to put it. I was like, And she was like, I was like, And I was just thinking,
so you lied to my mother.
I'm sorry to say it was not nice, yes, but I had to do what I needed to do to get my queen. So that was the first shock for me, and what she did to me, I also did to my family.
Yeah.
Because after that happened, I just kept quiet. I didn't say anything. And then the time for the introduction. So the introduction came, her father was in town, everybody was in town, and my whole family, all my siblings. So we're 7. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
You say you are 7?
We're 7 in my family, not 7 children.
Okay.
We're 7. So my dad, my mom, 2 brothers, 2 sisters. So we're 7. So all of us sat down, and then when we were doing the introduction, they now brought garden egg and gave to my whole family. And they were looking at it like, what was that? I said, yeah, you guys have to eat it. We're here to take our bride, and you guys are going to embarrass me if you don't eat it. And I could see my dad's face. He said,
but he didn't eat it.
He said he's fasting.
He's fasting, yeah.
He said, he's a pastor, so if he says he's fasting, there's no how you can fault him.
Yeah.
But the rest of my family, they were not fasting.
Hey, with joy.
We're all eating and looking at ourselves. Everybody was like, no, I'm going to kill you when we leave this place. Why are you giving us garden egg to eat? So, I mean, it was a shock, but it was interesting to see how different cultures, especially in the same country, how cultures can be so, can be so different. So I think that was the first culture. First culture shock for me. Now what was the second one?
I think going to the village.
Okay, yeah, so going to the village. Wow.
Even that was a shock for me because I didn't want to go to the village.
Yeah, but you at least you've been there before. So most of my friends and people that know my family, we are very
English.
We're very English. So we're Yoruba, we still have our Yoruba values, but we can also be a little bit non-traditional. So most people will say, I've never been to my village before. I've never been to where I'm from. People will like, how can you not know? I don't care. I was not raised up that way. So the only place I think I went to was to visit my grandmother in Ibadan. And it's not a village, it's Ibadan. It's a beautiful place. So
villages are not beautiful places. Ibadan is somewhat a city, Sha.
Yeah, what do you mean somewhat a city? Ibadan is a beautiful place, excuse you. That's
so
what my
villages are not
grandmother
beautiful. So what you're saying?
Not all.
Choose your words rightly.
I think villages are incredible. So anyways, so yeah, finding out that I had to go to the village and there was no other choice, because I remember I had asked her, what kind of family do you come from? She said, we are greatly traditional.
Yep.
You know those traditional Igbo family, going to the village type of family. I mean, and I couldn't run from it. So even my whole family, they kept asking me up until to the wedding, do we still have to go to the village? I said, if I'm going, all of you are going. Everybody kept asking. I think at that time there was fighting. So we're trying to find different excuses not to go to the village. I think there was a lot of...
There was a bit of a hullabaloo.
And her Oluchi's father was like, that village...
Me, I've gone, people come and meet me there.
Exactly. So going to that village, I mean, it was something else for me. And, you know, I mean, it was a shock, but I had to do what I had to do to, you know, to make it work. Because if I didn't do that, a lot of people know that Igbo families, the real wedding is the traditional wedding. If you like do white wedding in Dubai, that's not their concern. If you've not come to meet the clan and the elders,
people,
yes, then you are not married. So it was a shock for me, especially for marrying from an Igbo family. So I think also when we got to the village, we had to still do another meeting where
because traditionally in the Igbo land, I think there are like 3 events that happen towards the traditional marriage. So there is the knocking on the door, there is the introduction, and then there's the trad. I can't remember how it is now, but I think there are like 3 separate events. But my dad was like, you know what, there's no need to do all of that back and forth. So we'll just do one, which is just the trad, you know, and then all the bride price kini will not be an event basically. So when we now came to the village for the trad, the Friday before, because the trad was on a Saturday, so on Friday they had invited them to come over to our house. And when they came, some of my uncles and village people they tried to, you know, do some sort of, you know, meeting,
and it was very weird for me because I'm not used to that type of, you know, setting. So I think it was. And
he said that they kept on shouting.
Yes, there was a lot of.
Because all these Igbo kwenu, hey.
So I was just sitting there. I was like, what's going on? I said, why are you shouting? At the point I was there to be like, is this thing working?
And he kept on texting me.
I was like, what's happening here? And let me explain to you guys the annoying thing. She did not prepare me for it.
Because I didn't even know any of these things were going to happen.
Is that an excuse? You are from the culture, you do not know. Somebody that is not from the culture. So I was shocked all through. But guess what? Actually, between both our weddings, traditional and white, I enjoyed the traditional wedding. See? Because they were hailing me. Let me tell you, right? You know, I'm a words of affirmation person. So she had, I think, for the traditional wedding, she had come out of the camp. She was dancing with her maidens. They would dance around everywhere, and then after that, it was now the white wedding is all about the bride, but actually for the traditional wedding, I felt it was all about the guy. So I came down from my car with my shades, with my guys, and as I was dancing around, I would dance around your family, and I was holding my walking stick because I was wearing my traditional outfits, and all her family were like, hey, Odogu. I was like, yeah, man. I was lifting up my walking stick, like, yeah, Odogu has come. I've come to collect my prize.
And guys, if you actually ever see a glimpse of our traditional marriage video, this was how Nosa was.
Yes, we'll try and show a clip so that you can see. I was just like, I'm like, man, this place looks good. I should come here more often. But that was in the sport of it. I'm definitely not going to be going there more often. However,
travel to the village.
I will when your sister's wedding. So,
but that was for you, right?
Yeah, for me, it was a shock.
Yeah.
So how about for you, from a cultural point of view?
I think the only thing that was really a shock was the first time I had gone to meet your mom. I mean, I've always known that Yoruba people are big on greetings, you know. If you're a lady, your knees on the floor. If you're a guy, you prostrate.
Yeah.
So somewhere in my head I knew, but it did not register in my head that when I was going to meet his family, I had to do that, right? So when the first day I was going to
meet my grandmom was there as well. The first
yes, your grandmom was there too. So he had already prepped in that, guy, when you're going to see my mom, make sure knees on the ground. And I was already like, why should I do that? And he was like, you're going to meet a Yoruba woman, your knees on the floor. So I now have to start thinking that for the rest of my life, what I'm going to be doing, knees on the floor. And guy, but the truth is that it's now more like second nature to me. So I don't even see it as, I'm doing something big. So just so that was the only.
I think I told you that because my grandmom said that in Yoruba land, the older the person, the lower.
Yeah.
So for my mom,
so for mom, I didn't have to put my knee on the floor.
Your knee on the floor, but low enough. But for my grandmother, you can enter the ground. So, because my grandma is like 90, so in Yoruba, the lower you go. So even for men also, if you are prostrating, you know the way you do pick pin for men, you see an elderly man, you pick pin, but imagine meeting someone that is like that you hold in very high authority, like let's say for like a daddy Gio or an elderly man that maybe like 80 something or 90 something, you prostrate. There's some people that you even lie down on the ground for. So
I've never seen you prostrate for anyone.
Like who?
I don't know. I've just
never seen me. My granddad is not alive now, so if you had seen me with him, but for you, like I said, we're a very English family. So my dad, I hug him. My grandma, I hug her. You know, so I think it's because of the people. But when I meet people outside, like I think there was a time I met was it Daddy Gio? I lay down on the floor. I even saw my father lying down. My father is lying down on the floor. My father is almost 70. Well, my mom is to enter or to even lie down under him. Do you understand? So for Yoruba culture, that's just the way it is. And I'm not the one that founded it. I think it's Oduduwa. That's how he has been. So marrying into Yoruba family, you don't really have a choice. You know, you see a lot of people that are forming, especially Gen Z, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. See, it's culture. You can't. Some people's culture is very, very strong. So I think that was the cultural shock. And I think greeting for Igbo family was easy for me because I think for the men you shake hands, but they don't mind if you prostrate.
Funny enough, when you saw my dad, or was it my mom? I can't remember who you saw, and then you had gone down. They're like, he's very respectful.
Exactly.
Like,
so you see, so those are one of the beauties of the Yoruba culture that I know.
I think another one for you was after we had gotten married. My parents had asked us what we wanted as a gift.
Yes.
I didn't even know that it was a thing in my culture.
What's it called?
I don't know what it is, but after the wedding, right, the bride's family is meant to go and visit the newlyweds in their own home, right? And then they come with
gifts.
And I didn't even know. My mom just messaged me. My dad, right, he called me. I was like, that we're coming to visit you people. What do you want?
And we thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
And we said,
and I know they're saying things like, okay, I need pots, I need spoon. My dad was like, what kind of list is this?
Exactly.
Tell me what you
would
need.
have asked for LED plasma TV.
So I just said, okay, maybe deep freezer. And that was all I asked.
Washing machine.
I didn't even ask for the washing machine at first. It was when he was not in the store. It was not like that. There are other things here. There's washing machine. There is TV. I was like, I can ask for things like that.
Yes. And then they brought it to our house. Then, like, even my family, and they brought a ram too.
They brought a ram.
A ram too. I was like, is this part of the culture? Why did nobody? If I knew this, I would have gone to the village with all happiness, knowing that I probably would have asked for a car, maybe a Lexus.
Now, so yes. People asked for my father's inheritance.
Maybe they asked for list. I would have asked for Lexus, asked for even a new house. But they would have brought the house on the head to our house. So it was a culture. That was a good culture shock for me because I mean, it's like you know, I used to like when you want to marry somebody, I used to pay in bride price. I mean, usually from the man's point of view, I used to paying and giving and paying bride price and not receiving. So seeing after the wedding, they also came and
brought a lot of
I was like, wow. So marry an Igbo girl. You just might get a car after the wedding. Yoruba people are too stingy. People don't bring in see the Igbo culture. So I think that was I think that was the only culture shock, and that was before marriage. So but inside our of which I tell her that when she sees me at door, she should kneel down and prostrate for me, but she's stubborn. So
no, in fact, what I will do is when you enter the house, I'll just be crawling and following you wherever you want.
Yes,
I just think I'll do
in
that.
A traditional Yoruba family, that's how it should be. When you see me, my king, Olowo Orimi, That's what she should be greeting. But you know, I take what I can get.
Duly noted, sir. Management to put it under advisement.
Kneel down.
I'll bite you.
So that was the shock for us in our culture. But I think where more of the differences were in actually our family and upbringing. So there were a lot of upbringing and family shocks, you know, for us.
Yeah.
And these are some of the things that we experienced that we will share with you. So what was the first one?
I think the first one was
the meetings.
Well, I think that was for you.
Okay.
Yeah, but for me, it was the fact that, so in my family, when someone's birthday is coming up, we'll all come together, donate money, for a gift, and then just literally plan something nice for the person, right? Whether it's daddy, mommy, brother, sister, whatever, right? And I was used to that. So when it was like maybe Nosa's sister's birthday or his brother's birthday, I was like, what are we doing now? I'm like, I don't understand. What are we doing?
What is we?
Like, I don't understand. So it was like, so you guys don't used to buy things together, you know. So
I used to be like, I was a bad person, and I used to feel like I was terrible. But it's not as if where she's coming from is actually a good place, but we were not really raised that. We're not really a kumbaya family. We love ourselves, but we're not so. I think is growing up now that we're making more of an effort to donate money for. But growing up, what we know is that this person is doing birthday, is Momsi and Popsi that will buy the gift for them, and we will come and help you to wash the gifts. Momsi usually will buy cake for everybody during every birthday, and she would make an effort to buy gifts and all that. So it's like that's what we knew how to. So when she had asked her buying gifts, so I think it was a shock for you. And you know, I think I'm also learning it because
I think we thought about it.
We thought about it, yes. I was like, I don't want to, and then we also have to call the person together. I think that was
yes, because I'm of the opinion that like growing up, we would always like if it's this person's birthday, all of us will call together.
Yeah.
And then I'll just hear that he has called the person. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, we're meant to call together. What's your problem?
This is my mom's birthday. I'll call her at ATM and I'll just be like, oh, when are we going to come? I'm like, what do you mean when we have called? I better call her yourself. So she didn't used to like it, and I can understand why, because I mean, all from a marriage point of view.
Exactly.
You know, not from a family point of view, because I don't see the reason why brother and sister are calling the same person, because they are the same family. But from a marriage point of view, I can understand why it would be good for you and your wife to call the person together. I mean, also it's easier. You get
true.
Yeah, it's easier because you don't have to do 2 calls, and then both of you can feed off each other's energy on the call. So I think that was one shock for you in a family shock in our marriage. And I think for me, I would say they meet a lot. Like they meet a lot. Like God, I think I saw it during when we were dating, and even after as we've married, they're still meeting, and I don't have an issue with it, but it was just strange for me because let's say Oluchi wants to change the shoe she's going to wear.
What's the problem?
So let's say Oluchi, maybe there's something that is happening in the family. Or let's say Oluchi maybe wants to change her job also. The whole Ihekuna family will meet and they will talk about it.
Yes, someone will give their advice. Someone will say why.
And I was thinking like, what's my best? In my own family, we inform you. We don't say we are going to. We just inform you. I've changed job, or now I'm in the US. But for example, if she wants to travel to the US, everybody can meet. I'm like, oh, you're going to the US. They will talk. Some people will give their own advice. Some will say this is their own restriction about it and all that. And it used to happen, you know, like I think every 2 weeks. There was a
no, but that was because we were planning our wedding. That was why it was a lot.
It was a whole lot during that time.
Because there was just a lot to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, well, for me, I don't even think we did any meeting. My senior brother cannot tell me. I said, Gafa, the wedding is still the I said yes. It's okay. Anything you need, let me know. I said okay. My dad was in the that. I was like, what's up? Has everything been sorted? Yes. It's only myself and my mom that used to talk. In fact, I can't really remember. Okay, my sisters too will ask and say, okay, what can we do to help? But we never met once.
But do you know the idea of even having a meeting is, yes, it helps that bonding, but also it's because you don't want to be giving the same dish to like 5 different people. Just give it as once.
That's why there are family groups on WhatsApp.
But so there are some things that you can't text. There are some things that
no, it's not that there are some things that you can't text. You guys enjoy telling gist to yourself. It's not that there are some things that cannot be elaborated. In fact, if we did family meeting in my family, maybe only once, and the meeting did not end well because, you know, I don't want to say why, but we don't do family meeting to decide. Maybe my dad will call us and say, this is what he wants to do for this, and that's the end. It's not as if he's asking our opinion. He's just telling us that this is what we are doing. And maybe the only meeting is maybe prayer meeting, because we used to pray every day in my family. That one we grew up doing that. So, but yeah, I mean, it was a shock for me. Even when we got married, and sometimes I'm like, who are you talking to? I just see I'll say, okay, no, you people should meet. I don't have a problem with it, but I felt it was. I'm thinking to myself, is this what regular families do? And is my own family not regular?
Guys, put it in the comment section. Do your family members? Do you guys meet as a family? So, let's know.
So I think it was a rude shock for me, and you know, it's not really anything to adapt or not adapt to, because I don't have a problem. They are her family, whether or not she's married to me, they are still her. And I have a problem with her, you know, having those.
So which are the differences?
I think another major difference for us is household things. Like the way I grew up, we grew up doing things in a certain way, and the way she grew up doing things in a certain way. Like little things like caused quarrel, like something as little as the mop. Where to put the mop. So because in my house, for example, growing up, I think every room had a mop.
I think your family is a convenient.
Yes, my family is a convenience-based family. So we arrange things in the house based on convenience. If you go to the kitchen, you open a counter, there's biscuits there. You don't have to go into the store to go and bring the biscuits. So everything in your room is there based on convenience. So every room has a mop, and probably the mop is at the back of the door. So I think there was one time where I poured water, and the fact that I now went to the kitchen to look for the mop, I didn't see the mop there. And I told myself, why is the mop? She said, the mop is outside on the balcony drying. I said, why is the mop outside drying? She said, I don't want it to be sticky. I'm like, the mop should be, from now I'll put the mop inside our room toilet so I don't have to go out. I was like, what kind of work am I doing? Like, the water would have probably gotten messy. It was a quarrel for us. And I think now she's trying, but sometimes she still
we have to make a bit of a consensus. Yes. So instead of taking it all the way out, it's not like the back of the door in the kitchen. So
exactly. So little things like that, because I'm like, in my house, if something pours, I just
it's a cleaning tool, and it shouldn't be seen lying around. Like, you keep it away, you keep it
behind the room door.
No, it's just like
in the toilet. Who is saying this? Who is coming to your toilet?
It's first of all, and you know, because you use mop to wipe things that are wet, the hair of the mop or the fiber of the mop will be wet, so you need to allow it dry. If you leave it inside, it's just going to be.
I don't know what things you wipe. Most of the things you wipe is just water. Maybe you come out of the shower and there's water, and you just wipe it and you just keep it there. It will dry on its own. You don't have to turn it upside down for the thing to dry.
When it dries in a place where there's no sunlight, it's a bit.
You see what I mean? So that is our own way of seeing it, and our way of seeing it was completely different. So we quarreled a lot about that. See, little things like that can cause quarrel.
Let me say my own. My own was he used to put insecticide on the dining table in the sitting room.
No, not dining table. It was on the fridge now.
When we were dating, it used to be on the dining table. Then it now moved to the yes. Before we got married. Yes, I remember when I come to see you, it was on the dining table. Yes, I remember. Yeah. I remember.
And I have my reasons. Now let me tell you the reason why.
I'm not done with what I'm saying now. Then he will not say it's because in case there is a fly somewhere, don't come and start looking for it. I'm like, why would somebody enter your house and they are seeing insecticide? It's not presentable. It should be kept in the cupboard somewhere.
Now let me ask you a question. If you were in your room, your toilet, and you go into your toilet and you see a cockroach.
Why should a cockroach even be in your toilet?
By Nigeria. Where do cockroaches come from? Is it not better it's in the toilet than it's in your kitchen? So the cockroach is in your toilet. Would you want to have to leave the room, run to the kitchen and come back with insecticide and not find the cockroach again? What if you don't find the cockroach again?
Hit it with your slippers.
What if you don't find the cockroach?
Hit it with before you go and look for insecticide.
Not everybody likes cockroaches fly. They fly. So before you reach there, is this where you are staying fire, where you are spraying it and you weaken the cockroach and then you exactly. So for things like, for example, maybe you see ants or you see something, for convenience, you just grab an insecticide and spray it. But for her, it's like, it must be inside where nobody can. And my question is, in 356 days in a year, 365, how many days in a year, how many people are coming to your house? Or if you're coming to your house,
that's an exception because
you hide the insecticide now. When they go, you put it back.
What kind of headache is that?
So we quarreled about that. I'm like, please, I want insecticide inside the room. They must be insecticide in the room. I don't want to have to run outside. So growing up, you could see that in my house, it was every item, every room had it. So the kitchen had its own, the sitting room had its own, your room had its own. Even cane. When they used to flog us, there was cane in the kitchen. There was cane in Mom's room. There was cane in the sitting room. Mom, I know you're listening.
Wow.
But yeah, that's how you terrorized us. So that if she wants to flog you, you can't run. Because if she has to go up to her room to bring the cane, you probably have run. So she's like, I'm going to flog you now. So she'll close the kitchen door. Just put her hand on top of the shelf.
For it.
Tidy you one time. So we used to find all those things and break them and throw it away, and then she will buy more. So so we basically grew up in a type of a convenience house also.
Convenience-based house.
I think one other thing was the bowl.
I don't know if that. Well, I don't know if that one is an upbringing.
I think it's just it was a
myth.
Yeah. So like first, you fetch water in a bucket, and then the bowl, you just put the bowl inside the
just leave it in the bucket.
So
it will be slimy.
Like, I'm not sure the bowl will be slimy. The bowl is for water now. It's plastic.
Didn't you used to touch this sliminess? What was that affecting?
It didn't affect me. I just felt like, why do I have to go and I want to bathe?
Just put it on the slab.
Carry the bowl, put it back. When I'm done, so it was a big issue, but for me it was not that big of a deal. So I just was like, you know what, if you like the bowl, yeah, let's put it there. And I think also it was the way we spoke about it to each other that really. So going to how these are the things that we first of all we went through, and things that the differences that we had, but more importantly, how did we get through them, especially the upbringing and the family issues?
I think it was even just having the mindset that this is how this person is. Okay, so for example, for the wedding parts, things that were expected of you, just knew that although it was a struggle, but you knew that if this is what is expected of me from these people, I have to do it. There is no, I don't understand what you are doing, or I don't know why you're asking me to do this. It was more of, you want me to do this, okay, I gotta do it. You know, so having that mindset, you know, that it's not about you, it's about what they want.
Yeah, it's about what they want.
You know, and for me too, I had to say to myself that if a Yoruba mother would expect to be respected by my knees on the floor, it's not about me, it's not about how I was brought up. I have to do what I have to do.
It's not about your knees.
I have to do what I have to do. So just understanding that part and having that mindset that I need to do what is required of me. So far, it does not in any way break my own values.
Yeah, exactly. If it doesn't affect your personal values and it's something that they need, then that's how we made it work. And then I think from the family upbringing stuff, the difference, the greetings, the household items, I think for me a major thing was how you communicated it to me. So I remember I had said that there's no right or wrong. It's just what you know, what you were groomed to know, and what I was groomed to know. There's no right or wrong. So I think for me it was how we were able to get through it was that, for example, if she doesn't want this in a certain way, instead of saying how would you keep it here, it doesn't make any sense, just say I would prefer for you to put it elsewhere. And once you say that to me, because my major aim is to make you happy, and you explain to me and say I would rather it's here, I have no issue. I was not really tied to anything. So I think that's how we made it work. We made it work, you know. So so what is our takeaway from this? So number one, if you are going to marry from a different culture, count the cost. And why am I saying this? We have a lot of unrealistic people that want to get married. You know, because you are woke, it does not mean the parents of the person you want to marry are woke. Even if you don't believe in going to the village, if the person you want to get married to, if their parents think that way, you don't have a choice. It's not about the book you've read in school. It's not about your intelligence. If they want things, it's
not about your rights.
Exactly. Because if you want to apply for a job and they tell you these are the things you need to do, you're not going to be saying, you know, where I come from, we don't wear suit and tie, we wear only jeans. You won't get the job. So if you're going to ask for somebody's hand in marriage and the family says you must there's some cultures that they flog the man to make sure that he's strong.
Yes, I think it's a Hausa culture.
It's a Hausa culture, I think, in enough. That they will flog the man, or they will even tell the wife to touch him, and he will find out which one is the wife's hand, something like that. So different cultures for different, and if it's worth it, you will do it.
And if you feel like you cannot do it, don't fight them.
Don't fight them and don't insult them and say I cannot understand why. It's not for you to understand. There are cultures that have predated your existence. So if you're going to marry from a different, whether it's within the country or outside the country, you know, you're marrying someone from Croatia or all those people that do jumping the broom.
Yeah.
You get, just align your mind and know that, keep an open mind that this is what I need to do to marry this person. And for women also, you're coming into a new family. There are some families that you will go to the village. If you know you're not ready for that,
and you will cook food.
And you cook food for all the relatives. You know you're not ready for that. Know if it's that big of a deal for you, and if it's a deal breaker for you, you can decide not to get married to that family. But when you marry into a family that has certain expectations with you and it has been communicated to you, and then you now try and rebel, I think it's the spirit of witchcraft.
Yeah,
rebellion is witchcraft. Do you understand? So if you marry, for women, you're married to a Yoruba family and they want a certain thing and you know you're okay with it, do it.
Can I even say that? So when I got married, right, my dad will always say when I go and see my in-laws, I should make sure I cook and clean the house, because that's how Igbo people are. And
for me, I was like,
exactly. So, and if I had brought that to their own family, meanwhile they were just like, please sit down, or taking care of you. You know, it would even be me also imposing my own culture on them. Exactly. So no one works for wherever it is we are going.
Because I think that's something that maybe you say you want to. I'm like, my mom is not that deep. You don't need to do that. You're like, no, I can't. I say, calm down. My mom is not. She's not going to kill you if you don't do this. I remember when you were going to house, I told her these are the certain things that in Yoruba culture they are looking out for. So do these things. So you get so. And also, you would also explain to me that, okay, this is the way your father is, this is the way your people are, do this way. So I want us, because a lot of the Gen Zs that we are seeing, and some of us millennials, we have an ability to be very disrespectful or disregard cultural norms. There are some cultural norms that have been put in place by forefathers, and so far you're married into that culture, have an open mind to do it. So that's number one. And then number two, I say from the family point of view, there's no right or wrong way to do anything, especially if it doesn't encroach on your values and on your what else is maybe your religion or whatever. But if somebody was raised this way and you were raised a separate way, find a way to discuss it. Okay, what are your views on where the pots should be put in the kitchen? What are your views on how to arrange the house? What are your views on this? And find a way to come to a particular. I think people should even ask the question of what are your views on where to press the toothpaste. Yeah. Do you understand? So how about you? What else do you think we can?
I think that's really it.
Yeah, so
we've covered everything.
Exactly. So these are the ways we navigated our cultural differences and our family differences. And I would say one thing: marrying an Igbo girl is one of the best decisions I ever made. And also, marrying from our family, they are a very beautiful family, and you know, I couldn't have made a better choice. So yeah. So marry Igbo.
Hey, marry who you love.
Make sure she's Igbo. Find an Igbo woman and love her.
Thank you guys for watching another of our episodes.
So please please share, subscribe, comment,
all of that.
Let us know how this has blessed you. If you are currently in an intertribal relationship or marriage, let us know some of the things that you have also experienced that and how you've been able to navigate, you know, those things. So and we look forward to hearing from you all. So thank you once again. I'm Nino.
And I'm Lulu.
And this is Thriving at Love
and Relationships.